Okay, Kojima fans, like I promised, here's my Metal Gear Solid collection. And first up, the game that started it all, Metal Gear Solid. And this is the Australian PAL version. Unfortunately, the back copy rips off like butter, and the original owner took out the back insert. Out of all the games to do that, they chose Metal Gear Solid, where it provides information on how to continue the game. As you fellow Kojima fans know, it has the codec number on there that you need to ring. I mean, why? Ugh. So you're probably wondering, why the hell did I buy this? Well, the first run edition of Metal Gear Solid, just the standard copy, I don't see it that often where I'm from. And I usually see platinum copies and they charge it out of the wazoo, and I'm not comfortable paying the prices they're asking. And this was much cheaper than the platinum version, and I bought it without question. Well, I paid for that, didn't I? But I like having this around as a reminder to always thoroughly check my games, and it taught me a valuable lesson about collecting and what I need to look out for. But I can't be too disappointed because it has both games, they're in really good condition, and so is the manual. So what I like to do is, even though it has no back, and of course one of the side labels is missing, I usually just like to place it up front because it looks very presentable. Next up is my copy of Metal Gear Solid Special Missions, and this is the Australian PAL copy. And except for the little sticky residue, it's in really good condition. I kind of like how they've printed the zero point 0.3 on here, making it like the third disc of the game that should have been inserted there. And of course, that was originally the story, that he wanted to include all the special missions on the original discs, but he couldn't, so he released this. And what I really like is there's an actual spare disc holder in the original case where you can do that. But I love this case so much. I mean, it has one of my favorite characters of the series, Frank Yeager, aka Grey Fox. Looks absolutely awesome on the cover. And I believe I got both those games at my local. Well, I got one of them at my local GT, and I got one at another GT, and I paid a reasonable amount for Metal Gear, but I paid. I think I paid about $5 for the special missions, and I was so happy I could get it for that cheap. But this next game I did not get for cheap, and that is Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes for GameCube, and this is the Player's Choice Edition from the UK. Take a guess how much I paid for this. And if you would have said $100, you are correct. So you're wondering, why the hell did I pay an obscene amount for this game? Well, $80 to $100 is kind of commonplace for a new release game here in Australia, but this is actually very, very, very rare in Australia. I've only seen this game twice, and this is the only game I've had to order for my collection. The others I've just found on the shelf, I had to order this, and I kind of don't regret it. I wish I could pay just a little bit less. I really want just the original first run copy of this, and I wouldn't mind getting the Japanese copy. It's the same artwork, but it comes in those really cool Japanese GameCube boxes, and I always wanted one of those. Next up is the dump heap of my Metal Gear Solid collection, and that is Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I love the game, but just not this copy. And why is that? It doesn't have the manual, and it doesn't have the document disc. I think I pulled this out of a. I think when EB Games came to Supernova, which is my local con, they had a lot of pre-owned games, and I found this for really cheap, and I picked it up. And of course, like my copy of Metal Gear 1, I keep this around to remind me to always thoroughly check the contents, if there is any or not. But at least it came with the game, so. However, my copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance is in beautiful condition. This was secondhand, and I swear to you, it doesn't look secondhand. It comes with the manual, the document disc, and the game. Next up, and this is without a doubt my favorite piece of my collection, the piece de resistance. And it was worth every penny, and that is Metal Gear Solid 3, the Subsistence pack. And this is the UK PAL version. Any Metal Gear fan will tell you it's worth buying this pack alone for the contents on disc 2. And unfortunately, one of the manual holders is broken, so I'll either have to repair it or get another copy. And any reason to get another copy, you know, because I definitely want to own like a second copy just in case. And I wouldn't mind getting one of the, at least one of the American copies, because I know that there was a standard subsistence version and a limited edition one. I know one of them had a red case and looks really good. I have no doubt that I'll be trying to pick up one of everything, but I'm kind of really looking for that limited edition version of Subsistence. Absolutely love it. Next up is the first run of Metal Gear Solid 4, and all the first run copies came with this cardboard sleeve. Absolutely love it. I love the artwork of Metal Gear Solid 4 for the European Australian version because the Americans got that the printout of Snake's face of his in-game model, and it doesn't look that great compared to this, but I'll definitely pick up that for the collection. But I'm very happy that I got this one. I actually bought a PS3 just for this, and anything else that came out afterwards was just a bonus. Next up is Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, and what ended up happening was is I bought a PSP when it first launched, and there wasn't really many games that I bought for it. I wasn't really having any fun with it, and I wasn't using it at first, so I actually ended up selling my first PSP. A couple of months later, when I sold it, they announced Portable Ops, so I was kicking myself. And eventually, when it came out, I bought a second PSP, and I'm very happy that I did because there was a lot of great games that came out after this did, and I fell in love with my PSP after I played this game because there's just so many great games, as you probably already heard in the many stories in my RPG Swagman channel. You know, I'm very happy that this game brought me back to the PSP. Next up is Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, and as you can already see, there's a bad habit I have of not cleaning off the residue. I get really frustrated when I try to pull stickers off, and I know that there's many cleaning techniques. I'll have to just sit down one day and just scrub them all off so they look nice and pristine. And lastly, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and this is the Australian PAL. No, I shouldn't say that because there is no region coding for the PSP. This is just the Australian version, and I absolutely love Peace Walker. I can't wait to do my vid on my experience. Um, Absolutely love the manual and the back insert. And this also came with a little flyer for the limited edition Walkman. I actually wanted to get that, but I can't remember if it was. I think they wanted to charge over $100, and I definitely want to get one because I think it'd be a nice little thing to have in my Metal Gear Solid merchandise collection that I eventually want to build up. But one thing I really want to get is I want to get the Japanese version of Peace Walker, and I want to get that limited edition one that was released in the States because that thing is gorgeous. And of course, every time I look at this, it just makes me look forward to the remake on PS3 even more because I'm just really looking forward to the HD collection. And they said November, but I hope it's around that time because I'm really looking forward to replaying 2 again. Because out of all the Metal Gear Solid games I've played, I've actually haven't gone back to play 2 in a very, very long time, so I'm kind of looking forward to playing it in HD. So that's my collection. Just very quickly, some of the games I'm really looking forward to buying in the next year or two is I really want to get a copy of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Snake's Solid Snake for the MSX. And I know Metal Gear 2 is very rare, but I'm hoping that once I get a new job, I'll be able to have the money to save up and, you know, buy it because I've always wanted it on my shelf. And I actually really want to get the limited edition Twin Snakes GameCube that was sold in Japan. I mean, there is tons of um, Metal Gear Solid related items that I really want, and they're only just the tip of the glorious Metal Gear Solid iceberg that I sorely want to hit. Um, but pretty much that's it for now. And my next video, I'll be showcasing the two books I own. One's a guide, and one is a magazine that's filled to the brim with Metal Gear Solid content, and I'll talk about them quite in depth. So until then, thanks for watching, guys.